Hi guys, and welcome to Earthtide Studios. In today's video, we're going to be running through how to mix scream or aggressive vocals. I'm also really stoked to let you know that we've got a free vocal production course that's going to teach you the basics of how to record, all the way to mixing vocals. If you want that, you can just click the link below and grab it for free. Okay, let's get stuck into the session. Okay guys, so we're here in the session and we're going to have a look at how to mix scream/aggressive vocals. We have got the Color and Shade song Therapy. This is a song that I produced and mixed sort of earlier in the year, and it's actually my vocals. So let's have a listen to what it sounds like right now.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day. Full of salt in the world to hide your shame. You better know, you gotta know it's not a game.
So there's quite a little bit of stuff going on in there. We've got just a quick sort of layout of the session here. We've got, this is the main vocal here. This is another main vocal as well. This is a double-tracked stereo back vocal, as is this one and this one here. And this is a little special production trick that I actually learned from Chris Crummett, that he calls it like a demon scream kind of thing.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
So that's just a raw vocal. I actually recorded that through my U87 clone, through the Tone Beast, Warm Audio Tone Boost, and through the Warm Audio WA76, which is an 1176 compressor copy. And we sort of was doing about 7 to 10 dB of gain reduction. So let's just have a quick look at how we've actually mixed these vocals. So we'll just take some things off here. So as you can see, there's quite a little bit of stuff going on. And we'll just start from the very top. So we've got virtual mix rack here, and I'm actually literally just running the virtual channel on there. It's not really sort of doing that much, just adding a little bit of smoothness to the vocal.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
I'll turn it off.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
Yeah, it's sort of just warming the vocal up a little bit. Anyway, the main sort of source that we're starting off here is a little bit of EQ. We're getting rid of a whole bunch of low end and then sucking out a little bit of sort of low mids here, some of the regular mids, and then sort of some upper mids as well. So we'll just have a sus.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
It's really sort of making the vocals sound a lot more hi-fi. So we'll just sort of have a listen to what those are doing themselves. So we'll just get rid of them one at a time here. So we've got this sort of low end.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
It's really just cleaning up all of that muffle that you just don't really need in a vocal. And especially with an aggressive vocal, often you'll find that there's a lot more build up there, which is why this is sort of cutting off a little bit higher. On a sung vocal, I probably would only cut it off around about sort of 100, maybe 120 hertz or something like that. Then we're sort of getting rid of more of this sort of low mid, extra muffly stuff as well.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim
And it sort of sounds a little bit like just a little bit dirty there. Up here, it gets really quite harsh.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
That's more that kind of radio frequency. It's, sort of, that's where it's sort of resonating in my voice. You usually sort of have to sweep around for that with an aggressive vocalist to see where it's really sitting. And then a little bit higher up as well, there's a little bit more, sort of, this is more of the harsh kind of vocal frequency that's sitting there.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day. We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
So as you can see, these are like, sort of, I'm sucking out about sort of 6 dB of these. It's, it's doing quite a lot, but it's not very many moves really. And you shouldn't have to do too many moves on an aggressive vocal to get it to sit right if the performance is good. Then we're slamming it with quite a lot of compression here, 20:1 with the in-your-face vocal preset on the Warm Audio Blue 1176. I'm a big fan of this one. It just does so much. It really squishes the vocal and makes it sound really aggressive. So we'll just turn it off first.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day. We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
So as you can see, it is adding a little bit of a volume boost. So, you know, it's obviously a little bit hard to hear some of that compression there, but it's really making the vocals super present and really in your face. Of course, aggressive vocals are notorious for having a lot of sibilance in them. So let's hit it with this de-esser.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
Now, my little secret with aggressive vocals is I'm actually a big fan of doing a lot of manual de-essing on an aggressive vocal. So I've actually gone through and edited out a lot of the sibilance in the vocal prior to actually getting into the mixing stage, which just means you don't have to hit it with as many de-essers. You know, you can choose to just fix it in the mix, and that's totally fine. But I find that if you take that approach earlier on, it just solves the problem. So I'll just show you again with and without de-esser. So we've got without.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
And with.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
We're not hitting it too hard. And now, of course, everyone's favorite saturation / sort of distortion plugin, Decapitator.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
Of course, dependent upon the vocal and dependent upon how harsh the vocal is and how much grit there is in the tone, really depends on how far you're driving this. In my case, my tone is quite aggressive, so I don't actually have to put too much Decapitator on. But certainly for some other vocalists that I've worked with, I've definitely driven this up, sometimes all the way up to sort of like 7 or 8. Anyway, let's just show that again with and without.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
So as you notice, it makes the vocal, again, just a little bit more saturated, a little bit more aggressive. We're then shaving off a little bit of that high end here with the virtual tape machine.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
It's really just smoothing out the high end there and just sort of just making the vocals sit a little bit better in the mix and blending it a bit nicer. And then we're going to clip off just, I guess, the edges here with some limiting.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
It's really, really doing a minor amount of work. It's just really controlling that final dynamic level of the vocal. So we'll go with and without.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
So as you can hear, that processing is basically just making the vocal really, really even. And it's really making it sort of center and focus, which is basically what we need to do with an aggressive vocal. Tightening it up a bit, adding a little bit of distortion and a bit of saturation there to make it sound nicer without going too far. Now, we'll have a look at how that vocal is sitting in the mix without all of these effects, and then we'll put them in.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
So there's not actually that much going on, but everything is really, really useful. So we've got a few different things here. We've got my stereo delay, which is something that I kind of run on most vocals. Usually hit it with a de-esser beforehand, and then we're doing this little delay here. That's basically, this is something I picked up from Jordan Valoriat. If you've got a delay, a stereo delay that has less than 40 milliseconds of time between the left side and the right side, it's basically less time than the ear can really discern, and it actually ends up sounding like a reverb. So I'll just show you what that is on its own. So we'll just turn off these other effects.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
It basically sounds like a reverb, but it's actually a delay. And I just hit it with the de-esser beforehand because I like to de-ess my effect sends so that there's just less sibilance sort of building up in the mix. Next up, we've got our short reverb here, which is just a verb suite, which we're running on here on the big vocal plate. And I'm also filtering out that as well. Now, these were some resonant frequencies that we had here. So we're just sort of getting rid of about 200 and 9,000. And this is just going to be sort of stuff that's appropriate to dependent upon the vocal and the part that you've got going on there. So we'll just turn off the other stuff and have a listen to that delay.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
It's quite dry. Like, I haven't really driven it up. It's only about 1.6 seconds in terms of the mix on this one. And then we'll put in the long reverb, which again is also running Verb Suite. And this one's only 1.8 seconds, but this one's been filtered a little bit differently here. There's some more resonant frequencies happening around this sort of 1 to 3K area and getting a bit more of that mud out as well.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim and bury him day by day.
It's actually playing a couple of the backing vocals there at the same time, but that vocal in general, or that reverb in general, is just sort of bringing out the this tail end of the scream vocals there. But the big thing that's doing the majority of the heavy lifting on the vocal is actually the delay. So we've got...
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a...
I'm de-essing it here quite hard on the way in, and then we've got Echo Boy running on just a nice quarter note delay.
We don't know how you got this way. You claim a victim.
Well, at least it is de-essing quite hard when all the other vocals are running at the same time.
We don't know how you got this way.
I like to run it on studio tape, and I like to drive the saturation up pretty high on my standard vocal delay. We're sort of cutting off here at about 360 hertz and, sort of dropping it off there and taking off some high ends as well. And that sort of just really helps to control that vocal delay and make it sit better in the mix, not too much low end, not too much high end. It sounds a little bit nicer. And then to top it all off, we are also throwing on our throw delay here, which comes on in automated sections, but we'll run into that a bit later on. So that's basically what we're doing generally with the vocal. The main difference here is that with the main vocal versus the backing vocal is that the backing vocal itself, I actually don't run the delay on the backing vocal. And that's just simply because I don't need to sort of cloud the mix up with sort of the other vocals when they're already taking up a lot of stereo space. Obviously, this is twice as many tracks effectively as the main vocal. It's sitting lower in the mix, yes, but I really want to make sure that it's actually not clouding it up. In terms of the processing that's happening on the backing vocal, it's effectively the same thing. The main thing is that I de-ess it a lot harder. And obviously I make it sit a little bit lower in the mix, but otherwise you shouldn't have to process your backing vocals too much differently from your main vocals. Anyway, so the other thing we're going to do is we're actually going to have a look at this little demon scream here. And if you listen to this vocal here, this scream back here, have a listen.
How you got this way?
That's just a sort of a lower toned scream there of one of the lines in the vocal there. The demon scream is going to sound pretty strange.
How you got this way?
This is, and we'll see if I can replicate this here quickly for you. This is one of my favorite things of doing. Let's make a new track and we'll just show what this looks like here. Make it a stereo one and we'll just chuck this one through to screams and we'll call this one Demon Screams 2.0. Yep, okay, cool. So let's just take this vocal here and we'll put this one down into Demon Screams 2.0. And on this track, we are going to load up one of my presets. Let's have a look here. Yep, Demon Screams. Okay, so this is actually using a little plugin called Ultra Pitch. Now, normally I actually run this on the mono track, and then obviously I bounce both. I separate the double tracked vocal, one mono track left, one mono track right. I run this preset on both of those and actually bounce that beforehand. But this is the original vocal.
How you got this way?
And it's going to sound a little bit strange because this is a mono to stereo version of the plugin, but this is what it's doing afterwards.
How you got this way?
Basically, what it's doing is it's playing around with the pitch and the format of all of the different vocals that are going through there. And it's got 6 different settings here. Now, this, to be fair, I just made this up basically playing around with the plugin after I started with this preset here. Got a unison one, another unison vocal, a second, another one. This one is down a second, and this one is down a sixth. And then I've adjusted the format really a little bit here, playing it around. You can really do this with sort of like any kind of pitch shifting plugin that you've got. You can even do it with stock ones. And maybe later on I'll do a production session where I show people how they could sort of do something like this, all with stock plugins. If anyone's interested, let me know. But basically, the main gist behind this is that you take any kind of backing vocal that you want to reinforce and just really stuff around with the pitch of it and really like bring it down an octave, bring it, up a second, down a sixth or something like that. Play around with the format. And what it ends up doing is it sounds kind of a little bit demonic, hence the reason why it's called the Demon Scream. And what you do is obviously if you don't have it, if you have it in there, you have it a little bit lower, a little bit wetter, and it sort of just provides this nice reinforcement for the song. That's pretty much it when it comes to mixing aggressive vocals. I mean, realistically, they should be treated similar to regular vocals. It's just, if you think about it, you just want to get rid of anything that's making the vocal muffly, anything that's making it sound harsh, and just feel free to compress it really hard and really just make that vocal sound tight and focused and sit in the mix. And don't be afraid to, oversaturate it or anything along those lines. I mean, on the mix bus as well for the Scream vocal, I am also running another instance of virtual channel. I've got another set of EQ here where I'm sort of getting rid of a tiny bit of 80 hertz, dropping out a little bit more of that low mid there, about 360, getting rid of more of the radio frequency at about 3.5K. There's a tiny, tiny high shelf on there, and I'm also running just another little bit of saturation here on the Hollywood virtual tube collection here that's running on the Scream bus there. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to mixing aggressive vocals on how I approach them. There's a lot more that can be done, obviously, and it depends upon if you're looking at like little effects and things. I mean, there are a few, as you can see on these as well, there's a few times where I've got some affected sections that are going on where I'm running like a filter here on the SSL channel. And I've also ran like a sort of a more boosted version of Decapitator as well, sitting behind that to sort of compress it and saturate it a bit more, distort it, etc. And I'm also sort of running a filter as on the backing vocals that kicks in on certain parts. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Otherwise, I'll just show you, I guess, the sort of heaviest part of the song, which is the breakdown.
For once in your life, just breathe and let go. You brought it all to this, and now we all know. You let go.
Alright guys, so that's my approach to mixing aggressive vocals. However, I'd love to hear how you do it, so pop a comment below and let me know. Otherwise, you can just hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can do so on the contact form on our website. If you like what you saw, you can also check out our previous videos on how to record, edit, and tune vocals. And don't forget, we've got our free vocal production course available. You can click the link below, grab that, and as part of that, we're actually giving you the color and shade covers, the raw multi-tracks for that cover, which you can use to practice your mixing. So enjoy and take it easy.